Well, today Darren and I thought we'd do a segment that's a little different than what we've ever done before. What are our New Year's resolutions? And you know, Darren, I might try to work out a little bit more. I don't know that I really need a diet anymore or any of that kind of stuff for next year. I'm thinking a lot more about ag and my job on the farm.
Well, I am too, Brandon. You know, when it comes to the job that we're doing with our fields, and there's a lot of things we're doing right, and there's a lot of things we've changed over the last few years, but there are a few more changes we could make that would improve our farm and make it even better. So the first one I was thinking, Brian, is do a better job with our planter. You know, we've got some fields this year where our stand was a little spotty. Now, granted, we had some extreme weather. We had a little bit of soil crusting in a few fields, like right here where we're standing.
Okay, this is one thing when I'm talking to farmers, I love the comment, well, this year the weather was tough. Guess what? Every year the weather's tough.
No,
so we have to figure out ways around that because we know something's going to happen. We know at some point during spring planting we're going to have a hard packing rain. We know we're going to have some residue to deal with. We know we're going to have some operators who are tired when they're running the planter. I mean, we have to plan around these things because they happen every year, let's be honest.
I'm just saying when we have extreme weather, it kind of exposes things. And yeah, It may look a little bit worse this year, but you know, maybe we had a 2% problem for many years and we never noticed. But now when we have a 5% problem, hey, it stands out to us a little bit more. So that was my first point.
All right, what else you got?
The other things I was thinking about, when it comes to soil sampling on our farm, we're going to do more grid sampling. We've done a lot of zone sampling on our farm, but it's just getting a lot cheaper and easier to do grid sampling yourself. Now you can go out with a phone app and do grid sampling on your field and get good recommendations and variable rate your fertility if you want to. I think it's fantastic. We're going to do more of that.
Okay, so here are my 5 things. Number 1, it's speak up about agriculture even more. Now, obviously, Darren and I have a nice platform here on Ag PhD to talk about agriculture, but it's especially reaching out to non-farmers to tell them more about what we're doing on the farm.
Honestly, though, it's not just us. I mean, it needs to be every one of you too.
Okay, number 2 was scout our fields more often. For me, it's hard because I'm really busy. I got a lot of stuff going on, and sometimes I am not out in our fields as much as I should be. Number 3, learn more about fertility. What I hope to do every single year is learn about just a few more things that I can bring to the average farmer out there to say, oh, I didn't know that before, but if I do this, just tweak this other little thing with my fertility program, I can do a better job on the farm. And then the last couple I've got is not specific to agriculture, but basically I just want to make sure that I'm spending plenty of time with my wife and kids. And number 5, I want to become a better coach. I really like coaching, Darren. It's been a lot of fun. Yep, coaching youth sports. I've been coaching baseball and basketball and football, and I really enjoy that. And even though I'm super busy, I just think it's really important that everybody spends time with not only their kids, but just the kids that are going to basically run our country in future generations, so they have some good influences. And one of the key messages I'm always telling my players is, look, you can accomplish anything you want, but you're not going to do it if you're lazy. You're only going to accomplish it if you're working hard all the time.
You know, I saw a quote, Brian, I believe it's from Will Rogers, and I'm going to mess it up just a little bit, so it's not an exact quote, but it went something to this regard, that you may be on the right track, but if you're just sitting still, you're only going to get run over. And I thought that was pretty good. You know, even if you're doing things right on the farm, you got to take that next step and try and be just a little bit better, because if you keep doing things exactly the same, well, you're going to be falling behind what everybody else is doing.
Well, and one of the areas you could potentially fall behind is control of our weed of the week. It's a little bit unusual for us here in the Midwest to talk about it, but we're going to cover our weed right after this.